So you've been dating someone, things are going great, you've moved in together, you're sharing a Netflix account, and now you're lying awake at night wondering, can my girlfriend take half my house? I get asked this question so many times, and today I'm going to break it down. I'm Hayder Shakara, ex-Olympian, current lawyer, and I help people get clarity around legal issues that are quite difficult to dissect. Let's dive into it. Now, the short answer to your question is yes, she can, but not always. It depends on whether you're in what's legally called a de facto relationship. Because under Australian law, if you're in a de facto relationship, your assets can be divided just like if you were married. Now you might be thinking, yeah, we live together, but that doesn't mean we're in a relationship for legal reasons. But maybe you are. The law looks at a bunch of different factors to decide if it's a de facto relationship or not. So, have you lived together for 2 years or more? Do you have a child together? Did one of you make significant financial contributions or maybe non-financial contributions like renovating the house? Do you act like a couple in public? Do you have shared bank accounts? Do you go on joint holidays? How does the world perceive you? It's not just about living together for 2 years, which is a bit of a common misconception. It's about how you lived. And once you're considered a de facto relationship, well, the whole thing is up for grabs. If you break up and you're considered a de facto, your girlfriend can apply to the family court for a property settlement. Now, that doesn't mean she automatically gets half the house. It's a big myth that people fall into. If you have a claim, then automatically you're entitled to half. No, it just means that they're able to get a ticket to the entrance of the courtroom. And once they're in the courtroom, the court will look at what each of you contributed financially, non-financially, to the homemaking, if there are any children, to the parenting, and then the court will consider any potential future needs that you have, like any earning disparity, any children of the relationship, whether or not each one of you are healthy, and maybe you might have future medical costs down the road. And then they'll decide what a fair split looks like. Sometimes it is 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40, sometimes it's 70-30. There is no magic number. Every situation is different and is what the courts consider to be fair and according to the current law in Australia. So let me tell you a real life case example with the names changed, of course, but people that we did act for. Let's call the first party Ben. Ben owned his house before his girlfriend Lisa moved in, and the title was 100% in his name. They lived together for a period of 5 years. And during that time, Lisa was actually paying rent, or that's what Ben considered it to be, rental payments to Ben in the sum of $500 a week. And so the justification was that this was currently what the rental prices were, and if she was to pay rent in another home, that's a similar price to what she'd be paying. Now, during this period, they both paid for various expenses, groceries, and they both also assisted in helping cleaning up the home as well. And so when they split up 5 years later, Lisa turned around and said, I wanted half the house. Now, the matter did proceed and the matter eventually settled, but the agreement that they kind of came to was that she got a small percentage of the house's value, but definitely not half, because what we looked at was Ben's initial contribution, which was huge. And Lisa did make financial contributions despite the agreement between them being considered rent, but the financial contributions were nowhere near enough to justify a 50-50 split. However, she did walk away with a small percentage of the property. So if you're in this situation or worried about it, what can you do? The first piece of advice I would give to people is that they need to get a binding financial agreement, which is essentially a prenup. This is the best way to protect your assets. It's a legal contract that sets out who gets what if things do go south. The second piece of advice I would give is that you need to keep clear records of your financial contributions, mortgage payments, renovations, bills. The more proof you have, the better, because we're able to establish what your financial contributions were in the relationship. And of course, it goes without saying, get good legal advice. Don't wait until the end in order to get proper legal advice. A good family lawyer can help you set up protections before things go pear-shaped. Even if the house is purchased before you met, she's still entitled to a percentage of the house. And finally, even if you were together for a short period of time, she still might be entitled to a percentage of the house. So, can your girlfriend take half of your house? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but don't leave it to chance. If you're in a serious relationship and want to protect what you've worked hard for, it's not about being unromantic. It's about being smart. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. And if you want to chat with a family lawyer who gets it, reach out to me or my team, and like this video if you helped, and subscribe if you want straight up legal advice without the legal waffle. I'm Hader, thanks for watching, and remember, protect your assets, protect your peace.